Manny Pacquiao strength and conditioning coach Justin Fortuna, I think his name is, or Fortune, says that Manny Pacquiao can be ready in 8 weeks right now to fight Terence Crawford in a 50-50 fight. It's well known, documented, that Manny Pacquiao has been looking to get back into boxing. His promoter, or the guy that works for his promotional company, Sean Givens, has said that they're interested in fighting Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. It might have been another name in there as well too. Can't remember who the other name was, but they're interested in doing those fights. And now the team is talking about fighting Terence Crawford. Now, strength conditioning coach Justin Fortune, or whatever his name is, said that in a Ugas fight, that Freddie Rose blamed him for that loss because he left to go wash the hands, get wrapped, and Ugas and came back and somebody was massaging Manny Pacquiao. Which, at the end of the day, they always got excuses about their losses. But you heard the same thing said about Tommy Hearns. I think it was before the Marvin Hagler fight that Emmanuel Stewart said he came back in the room and somebody was massaging Tommy Hearns' legs. You don't do that because massages signal to the body that the body is supposed to go into relax mode. So for a fighter, especially when, you supposed to be, really going into, this is not always accurate or the truth. When you supposed to be going into peak conditioning, you know what I'm saying, for the fight, you don't want nobody rubbing your legs and telling them to relax right before the fight. That's a terrible thing, But nonetheless, they said in 8 weeks they can have Manny Pacquiao ready for a 50-50 fight. He said even at Manny's old age, he's still fast. And he said when he, converted over to Christianity, he put 10 years on his career. Said before that, Pacquiao partied all the time and he had a lot of leeches around him, and that's when he started having bad camps. Then he started to have bad performances, but then when he became a born-again Christian, it was good. He said that Freddie Rose didn't like it. He said he didn't know why. He said Pacquiao go to Bible class. He'd go, praise the Lord and just come back to the crib. He said Freddie just didn't like it. He said maybe because Freddie's an atheist. So, shit, if it's keeping your fighter out the club and keeping your fighter clean, so some people believe that, we got more atheists walking across, especially the United States, than it's probably ever been before. And maybe it's the wealth of information. But, some people say because people don't believe in nothing no more. And that's the issue, that people don't believe in anything. So, and that could be the issue, where people don't believe in nothing no more. So, without a belief or without a fear of consequences, I think people don't really fear the consequences till they get the consequences. That's when I hear when something happens, somebody say, well, don't nobody deserve this. I got a different look on life. So I'm not telling you who deserve what and who don't deserve this, but just because something horrible happened to somebody, so nobody deserve this. You don't know what people deserve, in my humble opinion. But, there's some shitty people out here and there's some great people out here. But at this point, I think if the Saudis put the money up, I think people will be interested. Simple as that. If the Saudis put the money up, I think, will Crawford entertain it? Obviously, it'll be at welterweight. When he dropped the belts, would they sanction it? It's coming off to me that Manny Pacquiao need the bread. I just say that. It's coming off to me like Manny Pacquiao need the money. And that's just my humble opinion. You could say he bored from politics, and I heard the politics overseas is tough to get into, and it's just a shitty game and all that type stuff. But I just feel like come on, his son is an amateur. You should be helping him out and stuff. Maybe you can start training people, but I know it's addiction. He's been doing something since the mid-90s. And this is just what and I definitely understand that. But, what do Crawford got to gain from this? Unless it's a shit ton of money. And it ain't going to be a shit ton of money until what happened? the Saudi stepped in. So that's the issue thing about it. So, if it's a bunch of money, Crawford to get in there and tangle with him. But now Crawford the top dog, and now everybody kind of want a shot, and he ducking this, he ducking that. But, like I said, it's up to Crawford. Crawford can make his own decisions and do his own thing. So, but nonetheless, I just feel that, without it being a big reward at the back, at that, that's the point. Pacquiao, he been doing exhibitions, but he been going out the game for how long? So how does this benefit Terence Crawford? It's got to be a big reward on the end of it. Pacquiao ain't had a performance where he came back and looked spectacular, in the tune-up, it looked spectacular, nothing like that. So right now, you don't see Tank Davis entertaining it. You don't see Ryan Garcia take the bait. You don't see nobody taking the bait. And right now, Terence Crawford shut out of an opportunity to get Tim Tszyu, because the rumor is the winner is Tszyu and Thurman. Errol Spence supposed to fight him. So that's the rumor. That's the rumor. So what do Terence Crawford go in? You try to fight Carlos Adames at 160. Guess what? He don't even have a real belt. He got an interim belt. In the word on the street, when they talk about, Canelo Alvarez and all that shit, man, I'll probably do a live Monday if y'all probably see this Monday. Tuesday, I'll probably do a live Monday. But the word on the street is that Charlo wasn't even training for Canelo. He wasn't even training, bruh. So they knew that wasn't going to happen. So, but Pacquiao Mayweather happened, Crawford happened some years ago. That'd have been very, very interesting. Even Errol Spence fight would have been interesting. Especially people seeing Errol Spence kind of struggle with the Pacquiao clone and sparring, and then his eye get injured. Crawford would be interesting too. He has some experience fighting somebody that's similar in Yorkis Gamboa, but it'd be interesting how he gauges that, how he keeps that distance with Manny Pacquiao in his prime, and how he deal with those angles. But the difference is when you a slick fighter, you know what I'm saying? When you a slick fighter, you make it a little bit difficult on Manny Pacquiao, especially when you got Crawford length. And I think Crawford would have just, he just would have used the jab. He knew when Pacquiao had to set his feet to jab, use the jab, work the body. You know what I'm saying? It'd be interesting. But Pacquiao tough for almost anybody. But at this point, it's time for him to go get a hobby. That's what it is. It's time for him to go get a hobby. You know what I'm saying? It's time for Dog to get a hobby, man. And I know that's all they know. But maybe it's time to go do something different. Get away from the sport of boxing. Whatever that may be. But these old dudes gonna get hurt fighting. He got a family to feed and all that stuff. So it's other ways to make money. It's other ways to use your spare time. And that's what tends to happen when people tend to retire from something. They lose their faculties. Yep, they lose their faculties, man, and then they just go into they just go in a landslide. That's why you should always stay working, stay doing spontaneous things. It's always good to have a schedule, but do something that you usually don't do a few times a week, and that may be the book club or a sewing club, or that might be, instead of running, go on the trail, ride a bike, go on like little staycations, go on vacations. But he's just bored right now. But Terence Crawford will literally hurt that guy. And they doing all these bird calls out for opponents in a professional boxing match, but you got to understand too that nobody is accepting the bird call. Not Tank, not Ryan. You don't hear Ugas saying, I want a rematch. You don't hear none of these guys, trying to accept the challenge. Pacquiao been out the ring for years. What are you going to gain from Manny Pacquiao unless somebody put a lot of zeros up? And there got to be a lot of zeros. So, but, for Terence Crawford, if Tszyu off the table, you know what I'm saying, then, what they going to do? You know, Carlos don't have a real title right now. So, you know, does he go up to 160 and try to challenge Janibek? This is a dangerous fight, but, you know, so it's Canelo Alvarez. But, no, it is what it is. But if they want to fight Manny Pacquiao, I mean, the Saudis going to have to get involved. You know, because how does that help you march towards your goal to Canelo Alvarez? So if it ain't a bunch of zeros and backing them on that check, I don't see it happening. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.